night that we live tonight. Let's ride till we're out of sight. So far, so they never fade down our halo. Oh, let it go. One moon to inspire these lines. One love to ignite our hearts. One song will be.
Good morning, Vietnam.
What's going on, everybody?
How's it going, everybody? Welcome to Those Two Nerds, episode 54. Man, my hair looks dumb today. It looks like I look like I have a mullet. There we go. See, look at that luscious lock.
You got a mullet today?
There we go. I'm just gonna wear my hair like this today.
All right, whatever you want to do, bro.
So seductive. I look like an anime character. Like I'm about to just go full berserk mode.
What's going on? I am Nictus from Nictus Plays Games.
I'm Vera Coach. Vera Coach. That's it. There is no plays games here. I do play games, but on the occasion.
This is episode 54 of the amazing, not found anywhere else on Earth, Those Two Nerds podcast / many. We do a lot of things on this show. So we just got back. We were on a little trip this weekend.
Yep. It was my brother's not best.
You
party.
are the best.
I am the best man. So, nice little bachelor party. What was really nice is that we both got to go without conflicting with this, because I know this is a pretty important thing. I mean, their Wi-Fi wasn't the best,
terrible.
But if need be, I would have done a live IRL stream.
We could have did it from there.
Oh, well, the nice thing is there were so many different spaces to spread out. You could have went in a room and nobody would have found you for like an hour.
Yeah, I went to bed last night and no one knew where I was. I had like 7 people eventually walk in the door and they're like, "Hey, are you sleeping?" I'm like, "Get out! I'm trying to sleep."
Well, that's how we were with Danny, because my brother he has a tendency when he gets drunk to lock himself in a bathroom.
Yeah, accurate.
And just stay there.
Totally.
Because he wants to take care of himself. So we're all looking in the bathrooms. There's like 5-6 bathrooms in this place. Like nobody's seen him for like 45 minutes to an hour without Jason Voorhees got him.
But yeah, I did the little promo clip yesterday for anybody that follows us on the social medias. And if you're not following us on the social medias, why? I mean, we're on everything. We're on
Twitter,
Facebook, through Nictus Plays Games. We're on Twitter at Those Two Nerds. We're on Instagram.
If you look up Those Two Nerds and our names, you will find us.
You'll find it. You see that little logo over there with the Vera Coach and not Batman? That's us.
Yeah, and I'm really proud of you. You've been hammering out the post these past, I would even say, almost 2 weeks now.
I'm going to just continue to hack at it. I'm going to try it.
He's going to be famous.
It's not even about fame. I'm trying to grow. And not only am I trying to grow my own personal channel, I'm trying to grow Those Two Nerds, because I feel that we had the right idea by having basically our 2 individual brands kind of coerce into this one
mega brand,
big brand. And we may eventually even change the thing from Those Two Nerds to Those Nerds and incorporate more people later on down the road. But right now it's just kind of us. We got one new, basically, partner.
Advocate.
I guess you could call it that.
Yeah.
Tadasu
Utari. Yeah, he's going to be cranking out the streams more with World of Warcraft. So if you're into the RPGs and stuff like that.
I'm actually really looking forward to his streams on Warcraft.
Yeah, he's the nice thing about him, like in the few streams that I've seen him do, he's very, very new to streaming. I mean, he feels comfortable when he is there. He's pretty good at activating being active with the chat. the big problem that I noticed with him is that he doesn't have a second monitor. So him reading chat is reading it off the phone. So there's definitely times when you're playing.
Has he tried to use the overlay?
Oh, what do you mean overlay?
He plays mostly PC games, right?
Yeah.
So on Streamlabs, there's an overlay that you can actually have the chat and stuff come up over top if you're playing off of one monitor.
Oh,
It's actually pretty sweet.
okay. Well, I'll have to definitely.
What? Show him how to do it.
Yeah, if he has that, but like I said, I mean, he's very active. I mean, he feels like a natural. I know for me, I've been slacking, been real slacking.
So have I.
But I know,
But my social media presence has been really good. So
yeah, but
it's kind of like hit or miss. Like if I'm on the social medias,
don't expect me here.
I'm not on the streams.
Yeah.
And if I'm on the streams, don't expect me on the social media. But a lot of that's going to change. So we're going to keep hammering out more stuff on the social medias. You're going to see more of our name, more things that we're doing, more things that we're doing together, more things that we're doing individually, and that's kind of the plan for the rest of 2020. COVID came out and kind of fucked everything up
It really did.
for everyone, and I mean, we had the goals of 2020 takeover, and it's been more like 2020. We're not doing anything. So
Yeah, it's been weird, I would say the least. With that, it seems like you get more bad news a day than you do good news.
Yeah.
But good news is that the studio production will begin in about, what did you say? What's today's date? Almost a month. So
you're moving.
in a month, yeah.
I'm most likely moving.
Yeah.
I got to figure out some financing stuff still, but it's like 90% sure that I'm definitely moving.
Yeah, I'm currently just got the email last night around 2 a.m. or so that the owners of the previous house that we put an offer on or whatever, we've been working through it, appraisals and all that stuff, and that probably means nothing to you gamers. But
Maybe some of them.
we're getting out the mom's basement. We're upgrading the castle. So be it. Super excited for that. A lot of things going into that with all the renovations and getting the first ever actual streaming room. It would be the first time I'll ever be streaming in a room strictly dedicated to work.
I think
You
I
having
messed
fun?
something up. Oh yeah, I definitely messed something up. I know I did. I guess it don't matter.
Amateur hour out here.
It's fine.
But we'll be boosting up a studio. Really excited for that project. I think what I'm gonna do is before and after pictures for it because I think that'd be pretty awesome to
Yeah.
look at. But you guys won't have any idea. Like there will be just a reveal day in there. So there's gonna be a lot more streams coming from me. Because like I said, it will be an area to where you can feel like you are working and um not the place where you have I shouldn't say you should not having fun, but like it's not like being at home, okay? So you go in to your stream room to get work done.
Yeah.
And because you actually told me that when we were sitting there and talking about like how you wanted to do your setup was like, do I want to have an area where I play games for fun and then just the area where I stream? And I thought that was the best idea because you said like when I think about the streaming area, that's going to be work. And when I go to play other games or in a different room, this is where I play games. This is where I hang out. This is where I chill. This is where I don't have to be like, "Hey, chat, how you doing?"
Yeah, I mean, right now all my areas, I know you're in the exact same boat I am. So, I mean, your streaming area for Vera Coach is it's in the same area where you just play games when you're having fun.
Yep.
And I know that when you are playing games for fun, you can sit in there for hours and have a great time. But then you're thinking, man, I should really hammer out a stream. But I've been playing games like all day, and now I kind of don't want to. It's just different. I feel like if you have an area that's a little bit more, not that our area is not comfortable. Obviously, you have to be comfortable while you're streaming.
Well, yeah.
But I feel like you basically got to have this is the office. This is where we're going to do work, whether you're getting paid for it or not.
This is
still
this is my beat level.
this is the office. This is where it's
Yeah.
all about
Oh,
doing.
for sure.
And if you have like I think even like an online personality or something, like when you go through that door, when you're sitting at that chair, that's who you are from that point on.
Yeah.
Until you are not in that chair. That chair is time for whoever you are on.
That gaming. Yeah, no, I think like I said, I think it's going to be an awesome change. I think it's going to be an awesome change for both of us because like I said, I mean, to never have that feeling of like a work office area, I think it's going to change your whole mentality. Not even with you even doing anything. I think just naturally your brain's gonna be like,
Oh, for sure.
when I'm in here, it's work time. It's time to grind. But
People are kind of trickling in, fading in and out. It's all good. Thanks everybody for tuning in. If you are watching, please like, share, follow, subscribe, all of those good things.
yeah, but like I said, I mean, it's gonna be a challenge. I will try to keep you guys up to date on everything. But like I said, it's probably gonna be about a month before really really big projects start hitting and actually starting to come together. Super excited for this moment because it's not that far away.
No,
So
I mean, we're excited about it. We're gonna actually have an area just for
work.
doing
Yeah.
just for doing this what we do. I'm not sure exactly. You guys are just going to have to bear with us because the area that we're in, it may not look beautiful at first. It may just be like, here's a white wall behind us, and then that's all you see, or a red wall. I guess it depends on where I'm at.
Yeah, we're gonna have to be careful. The only thing we have to be really, really careful about is like conflicting schedules. So between like having to move stuff and be somewhere,
Yep.
like that's probably gonna be the hardest part of scheduling wise. Because like if you're moving at the same time I'm moving, say it's on Sunday, we're both leaving the nest, so to speak. Like how we're gonna manage it, it's gonna be weird.
I'll say that hypothetically speaking, the likelihood of us not being able to both be on the show is going to be slim to none because we know that we do this every week.
Yeah.
But if, and it is a big if we do have to move and we have things with, I mean, we might have to just do it from Skype. We might just have to do it from Discord, or it might just have to be a solo show that day. If it is, it is. I mean, between it, we've done 50. This is our 54th episode. Only one of us has missed once, and that was you. And that was kind of an unavoidable thing. You know, it was not really.
I almost got back.
You almost made it. You were like,
I was
if you, three more hours, and you'd have been here.
Yeah, I was cruising.
So, I mean, and that's good. I mean, I think it's hard for anybody to show up every single week to do the same thing. And like I said, this is when we started this. This was mostly just an excuse for us to hang out and something to do. So
It was magical.
I'm gonna put the ad screen up on the thing. This is all the places you can find us at, not counting YouTube. But we are on YouTube as well. Just search for Those Two Nerds, and you'll see our little logo on the side. So while we're kind of running through the ads, we don't actually have any sponsors yet, so we don't have to do any of that.
We are sponsored by
We're sponsored by us.
nobody.
We sponsor us.
But if you're looking to sponsor a podcast, we would be more than interested to talk to you.
We have
just,
lots of things that we can talk about.
just send us an email at t2n, the number 2, in podcast@gmail.com. That is our business email. Be sure to contact us there. We check it daily. So we love you.
Actually, I think you check it daily.
I check it.
I don't think I have access to it.
I check it every day.
So the whole thing has been kind of good because you kind of take it over Twitter mostly. As far as the Twitter posting, I've mostly taken over Instagram. Not really, but mostly.
That's what the nice thing about working together is.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to do it all by yourself. You have some.
It's really fun. I'm not gonna lie, guys. So when we said let's start hammering the social medias more, when one of us has like a really good post, we just post on all. But because a lot of times it's just like random stuff that we post just to have like a presence online, and we're kind of like putting feelers out and experimenting to see what hits. When he posts something on Twitter, I'm just as shocked as the rest of the world to see it. I have no idea what he's posting. When I post to Instagram, he has no idea what I'm posting.
Oh, I know. We don't even talk about it. It's not even like,
No,
hey,
our
this is what I post.
yeah.
I'd be like, I don't know. Did you already post it? Well, yeah, go check on.
I mean, we don't post anything that's out of the unusual.
Just my nudes. That's-
But you know, he's had a couple things where it's like, hey, I want to post this thing. I'm like, cool, and I liked it, so we posted it on everything that we have.
Yeah.
So
But like I said, I mean, we are working hard. We are busy bodies right now. But I cannot wait. It's gonna be like the next few weeks, game changer.
yeah, it's gonna
We're
be
gonna-
interesting.
We're gonna start 2020 off, not kind of bad. I mean, we started off 2020 with a meme, and hopefully we end it on a good note, not just a Mortal Kombat round 2 fight.
Yeah, I mean, we hoped for more, but it's circumstances beyond our control. And at this point, I feel like let's make the best of the situation and let's go at it. And 2020 has definitely been some changes, both good and bad, overall. I think for a lot of people. So that's not always necessarily bad. I mean, change a lot of times equals growth. And I think growth makes you a better person in the long run, or a stronger person, or sometimes it makes you a weaker person, I guess.
I think so too. But
All right, we're going to start getting into the topics today, right? So, like I said, we've been talking a lot about the structure and changing the structure and being a little bit more structured while still having that kind of thing that you guys really like, which is where we just kind of like talk about shit.
Yeah.
So this is going to be kind of like the first week of that. So we've got some pre-laid out topics. I didn't have time to do graphics for the screen or anything, so you're just going to have to bear with us. So if you guys have any topics that you would like to hear us discuss or debate or want to debate with us, holler at us in the chat. Tell us what you want to talk about. But for the meantime, we're going to talk about these couple of things that we picked out. And if you guys have your 2 cents you want to put it up there. You know, don't just sit back. If you got an opinion, that's what this is. This is a place for everybody to have their opinion. We're gonna start with, I guess I would consider it more of the smaller topic first. So, Pikmin 3 is coming out. They're doing a remastered version of Pikmin 3 on the Switch. For those who don't know, Pikmin 3 is this adorable little like puzzle game about these little aliens that come down, and you got to use the different colored Pikmin to solve puzzles or whatever. And it's a pretty cool game, but it's one of the properties that Nintendo owns that they never do anything with, right? So this is the third game that was originally on the Wii U. Now we're not going to talk about the game. More about, I guess, ethics.
Yeah.
Would you call it ethics?
I would say business. Yeah, more of the business side of it than the actual game itself.
All right. So Pikmin was on a system that did not sell very well.
Okay.
And we've already seen case in point of most of the games that were on the Wii U, they've already been ported over to the Switch, and they've had much more successful runs.
Yeah.
But the nice thing that they have typically done in the cases of like Mario Kart 8 and Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, they added more content, or it was like plus all the DLC that they ever released and then put it out. However, when Pikmin 3 was announced, Wii U owners, some of them went to the Wii shop and they're like, hey, cool. Oh, wait, I can't buy this game anymore. Like, so the day that they announced that Pikmin 3 was releasing for the Switch, they actually took Pikmin 3 off of the eShop so that Wii U owners could no longer buy it or its DLC. There was an uproar on Twitter about it. I mean, I read pages and pages and pages and pages about people saying that this is poor business practice, this is anti-consumerism, and I guess that's like the first topic we're gonna talk about. Would you guys consider that to be an anti-consumerism topic? And I'm gonna go ahead and let you take the floor first. How do you feel about this?
So, first things first, with that move, to where they're taking it off and then putting it directly just to Switch only, I'm not okay with the move. I'm really not. Now, what things you have to look at is the business getting charged money to keep it on that Wii shop? If so, then it doesn't need to be there. Being honest, I mean, how long has the game been out for?
The game is now, it came out in 2013. It's 7 years old.
7 years old. Okay, so in 7 years, if I'm sorry, but if you're still buying Wii games and like, I get it,
Digital.
but like I said, digital, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with it, but you can't be mad at a system saying, "I'm sorry, I'm not gonna leave it on here," because if it's costing them money and they're not getting any return off of it, oh, I would go to Nintendo as well. And it's not always about money, but at the same time, you got to think you can't be a business and lose money every single time. So, I mean, if you have to make that move now, do I think it's not the best thing they've done? Correct. But at the same time, I'm not mad at them. I mean, I'm sorry. You had 7 years to buy the game. You know it's coming to Switch. If you're still just your main game, your main system is the Wii.
The Wii U.
Wii U, it doesn't matter. I'm sorry you've been disappointed. Like, you just got to get through it. In my opinion, I don't see anything wrong with it. I really don't. And you don't know both sides of it.
I see the unethics behind it. Calling it anti-consumer, I think, is pretty much an asinine thing to say. And anyone who said that wants to debate consumerism with me, I'm happy to do it. Anyone on Twitter who bitched about this, come at me. We can talk about it. But you're wrong in every instance of the word. Here's the numbers for you. Right, the Wii U, a console that I own, that I love. I think it's a great console. I think it's dope. They sold like 13.8 million units Wii U's.
Yep.
They've sold 61 million Switches.
Yep. There's your number.
There's your numbers.
Like, yeah.
The Switch now is tied and is definitely going to surpass as the second best Nintendo console of all time. And it's still trailing quite a bit behind the Wii, which sold over 100 million units. So they got a little ways to go. But I think if they put a couple maybe improvements on it, like a Wii U Pro or even like different versions like they did with the DS, they'll be able to beat that number no problem.
Yeah, and I mean, like I said, it's anti-consumerism. I think is just not the right way to go about saying that is. I mean, I'm sorry, like I said, your console does not sell. I mean, okay, let me get pissed at, they re-released old school Zelda, but I can't go buy the game on digital through Nintendo 64.
Well, you couldn't anyway, but
But
I see what you're saying.
yeah,
I mean, but the thing is, right? You can't buy it digital, but nothing's stopping you from calling up GameStop or going down to your local garage sale or your used video game store. The only thing that you would not be able to have access to is the DLC.
yeah, but at the same time, in my opinion, I don't go to say Best Buy and expect to go buy a PS2 game.
Would you say
They
that
don't care.
on the whole that most Nintendo fans, like if they're usually pro Nintendo, they're pro Nintendo all the way?
Yes, I can't agree anymore. I mean, it's just like PS4. If you're a main PS4 player, you don't go out buying a fucking Xbox. You could care less what happens with Xbox. But like if it's your console, you're gonna be like, okay, well, like I only buy these games. I mean, that's the whole point of it all. Like, do I get mad that games are exclusives to certain systems? No, because I think that's what makes you want to buy the system. You're like, man, that's a badass game.
I don't ever get mad that a game itself
Mhm.
is even a timed exclusive or all the way exclusive. That doesn't bother me. I think as we get further ahead, as I think you're going to see a little bit less of that. I think that you're going to start seeing. I think eventually you're going to start seeing where you can play it on whatever you want,
Yep.
whatever you want to have. Because I still firmly believe that it's either this gen, possibly the next gen. And there's not going to be any more consoles. They're going to be basically like they're going to be
Boxes.
what Steam boxes originally I think were. They're going to be little computers and you buy software. I think that's how it's going to boil down.
That's okay. But yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I don't.
My only issues with it are okay. I see both sides of the coin, right?
Yeah.
It's I don't, but calling it anti-consumerism is just kind of it's not a very intelligent thing to say and to whine about. Anyone who's a diehard Nintendo fan who wanted to play Pikmin 3 has probably done so in the last 7 years.
And they've probably bought it on most systems.
It's not probably like they care that it's no longer on there because either they already own the disc, they probably bought it when the game came out, or they picked it up at some point within the last 7 years. All of a sudden now, I think their biggest gripe was that they had a cheaper alternative to playing it, and now you can't do it, and now you're going to shell out the $60 to play it if you want to, and buy a new system if you don't already have it. And my argument to that is still, I'm sorry, they sold 13 million Wii U's, and if you bought into one of them, that's great, but nothing is stopping you from going out and finding a copy of the disc.
No.
Do you know how hard this was for me? It was really easy. I bought a copy of Pikmin 3 last year knowing that they may port it to the Switch, and I don't care that they're porting it to the Switch. I paid $13 for it on eBay. It was complete with the instruction book, and the disc looked minty. Like, who cares?
Exactly. I think people just want to have a reason.
They want to whine, they want to cry. I get it. But you know, there was another console that was also considered a commercial failure, and that was the GameCube. They only sold about 21 million units of that. And how popular is that system now? The difference is that GameCube had a lot more exclusive stuff that was only on GameCube that never came out
Yeah.
anywhere else. And that's why people want it on the virtual console. They want it on the Nintendo Switch Online or whatever. So, I mean, the DLC, yeah, that's a bite in the ass. You won't be able to get the DLC. You can buy the disc, though.
Okay.
And I'm sorry. Most people don't play the DLC anyway. So,
Cheap, but-
anti-consumer is just dumb. And again, they're a company, like you said, they're in a business of making money.
Don't think for a second that they're not getting charged for both. To be on the Wii Shop and to be on the
Probably not. It's their property.
the eShop.
It's not a third-party game. It's their shit. So it's not like
Yeah.
they're having to pay a licensing fee for it.
Maybe you never know. I mean, you don't know.
And that is a very distinct possibility because they didn't do it with Donkey Kong and they didn't do it with uh, Mario Kart.
Yeah.
So I mean, maybe it's possible.
All right.
Maybe they have to pay like a royalty fee to the people of the designer or something. We don't know everything that goes on behind the scenes.
Yeah.
But 7 years, and you guys are whining about a game that's 7 years old.
We just say it's not on my shop anymore.
But I mean, this also kind of brings up. We're going to go off on a little bit, and then we're going to go back to the other topic that we got. Just talking about raw numbers: 22 million copies of Animal Crossing. That means that they sold almost enough copies of Animal Crossing New Horizons for every Wii U owner to have bought 2 copies of it for the 13 million that they sold. I think that means that maybe the Wii U should have put out Animal Crossing like a real one on the Wii
I
U.
think
It
that
might have saved it.
I don't know. Nintendo blows my mind with some of the things that they do.
I think that they don't like money sometimes. I really do. I think they don't like
I
it.
mean, the Switch is set. I wouldn't even call it ahead of its time. It's behind the time. They should have had this thing out. This is what, like you
This
said,
is what the Wii U should have
the
been.
Wii U should have been the Switch. I mean, nobody wants to pack around that big ass box on the Wii U. Like that thing's heavy. Things like,
It's not even portable. Like you can carry it across your bedroom. That's about it.
but that's what I'm trying to say. Like it's like you gave me a big ass controller. Thank you. I appreciate
And
you.
that controller is very cool. It is. It's a really cool controller, but it is big. It's bulky. It's heavy.
Yeah.
And the battery lasts like an hour and a half. I mean, at most.
I play games for I don't like I sometimes just sit around in a game for an hour and a half.
Yeah, doing nothing. I have my controller sitting down for an hour and a half, not doing anything.
Yeah.
I'll get to the end of the game, and it's like you played 100 hours, but I really only played like 25. The other 75 hours was my controller sitting on the ground. But it's not the end of it. I mean, anyone who thinks that they're not trying to basically, I wouldn't say erase the Wii U from history because the eShop is still up for it. You can still buy stuff on it. All of the virtual console games are still up there. You can still buy them on it. And in fact, if you are a legacy game player and you don't like the new Switch Online thing and you want to own the game, the Wii U is awesome. They got a ton of great games on there you can play.
Well, the Wii finally shut down their shop.
Yeah, how long did that take?
I mean, the Wii's been out probably easily since like 2008.
I think the Wii U is probably going to shut down sooner because they just sold less. But I don't know.
And the Wii was good.
The Wii was very
the Wii
good.
was like ahead of its time.
The Wii was well. I mean, it was hard. It was underpowered hardware competing against PS3 and Xbox
With a
360.
cheaper tag on it.
Yep.
And everything. So like people went nuts for this. Like if you could find one, you were impressive. It wasn't like the Xbox or the PS4. Like you could find those, or just PS3. Like you could find those anywhere.
I think we're going to be really hard pressed to see another console top the same type of sales numbers that the PS2 did. The PS2 hit at a time when it was like all the stars aligned, and I remember when I got my PS2, it was actually cheaper for me to buy a PS2 than it was to buy a DVD player. I could get this cool thing that would let me play games and it also happen to play DVDs. Why would I own both? I just buy one.
Because it's smart.
So I mean, it just, and I think that there was a lot of people, and that's actually what kind of boosted up the sales numbers on it. Because once PS2 dropped the price down, to, I think it was under $200. People were buying them just for DVD players. There was people in salespeople were selling them as like, hey, you're looking for a DVD player, why don't you just buy this? It's cheaper
Yeah. Plays them.
and it does the same thing. So I don't know. It's kind of one of those magic things. But let's get into second topic. And I think that this one we might talk a little bit longer about this particular topic. And like I said, if you guys have any input that you guys want to give us, toss it on out here. But going back to the whole exclusive thing, we kind of touched on it a second ago. Marvel's Avengers is coming out soon, next month, I believe. Game looks pretty cool. Looks kind of MMO-y, sort of Destiny, sort of Anthem. I don't really know. I'm in. I'm gonna definitely play it. I'm a big Marvel fan. They announced DLC for the game. They said like Hawkeye's coming out. I think probably Doctor Strange will probably be in it. They said Spider-Man's coming, and everyone's like, "Yay, Spider-Man!" With a catch. Spider-Man will be exclusive only to Sony consoles. It'll be on PS4 and PS5
That's fucked.
only.
That's fucked.
So if you have an Xbox, you can play Marvel's Avengers. You can't play Spider-Man.
Uh-huh.
If you have a PC, you can play Marvel's Avengers, but you're not playing Spider-Man. Now, I'm not sure exactly what the cross-play abilities are. I don't know if like Xbox players can even play with PS4 players or if PC
Not how
players.
it's sounding right now.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even know if that's a thing. I think that they would like it to be a thing, but I don't know that that is a thing.
But Sony's gonna be like, no.
I'll tell you what, the uproar on the internet was legendary. I have not heard whining like that in a long time. I'm still seeing posts about it. 5 days after they said it. And I don't know if you guys know how things are in Twitter land, but if they're still talking about it 5 days later,
It's important.
it's a really big deal.
Like I said,
So, what is your opinion on console platform exclusive DLC?
I mean, I don't. I mean, I guess the way I look at it is exclusive DLC. I mean, no different than an exclusive game. It's no different. Just because I own the PS5, I can get Bloodborne.
So, you're okay with this?
I'm more than 100% okay with it.
So, you're completely fine, even if you weren't a PlayStation person.
I mean, yeah, because I'm like, okay, it's just another. Okay, putting exclusive DLC on it makes it sound worse. If I said this was exclusive to PS4, okay, like I said, it's one of those things. But I mean, you're also got to realize the state of what this is going on with it. It's Sony. Sony owns Spider-Man. Whether Marvel wants it in their game or not, believe me, do you think Marvel was like, oh yeah, fuck it, you can have Spider-Man? No, there was probably some fighting on it. But the thing is they're like, we own it. So, and they don't want no bad blood at all. Because Spider-Man's been probably one of their better movies. Just solo action films of not just actual everybody from the Avengers, but Marvel movies. Why? I mean, it's no different than just an exclusive game to me. You sit there and you're like, okay, everybody on Xbox can play Halo. I can't play Halo on my PS5. I'd love to play Halo, but you're telling me I got to go buy an Xbox just to play Halo?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Like, but now would I be mad if they were like, you can only get this on PS5 only?
You mean the entire game?
Entire game. Like I'm talking about, it's still exclusive, but you have to have the newer consoles. So you have to have the Xbox X series or whatever it is, or Series One or whatever.
I think it's Series X.
Or a bomb PC. Okay, would you be mad as a PS4 owner saying, "Well, I would love to play this game. I can fork out $60, but I can't fork out X dollars, 600, 660 for the game." Like, I'd be mad. I'd be like, "What the hell?" But again, it's an exclusive item. It's going to Sony's not dumb. Sony's thinking, if I can get 3 dumbasses every 10 people to go out and buy a PS5 because they want Spider-Man, then I mean, you might as well work at the Daily Bugle and say I want pictures of Spider-Man.
Spider-Man probably was one of the best-selling games of the last generation, and it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, and like I said, so is this upcoming Spider-Man going to be? Well, Spider-Man, the first one's exclusive PS4, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to know how many people probably went out and bought a PS4 just to play Spider-Man?
They sold a Spider-Man exclusive PS4 for the launch of Spider-Man.
And it's sold out.
And it's sold out.
So people that probably already had a PS4 was like, man, I'd upgrade to a Pro to have Spider-Man on the thing.
I bought one for one of my friends. They paid me back for it, but it was like one of those magic at the right time. I went in, they had one, I picked it up, and she was really excited to get it.
That's my thing. Are you mad about it? No, you just didn't get to play Spider-Man.
All right. I disagree a little bit. Not entirely.
You always just want to disagree.
No, I don't. I 100% agree with console exclusives and platform exclusive games. If you want to play Halo, you got to buy an Xbox. If you want to play Gears of War, you got to have an Xbox. If you want to play World of Warcraft, you got to have a PC or a Mac. If you want to play Legend of Zelda, you got to own a Nintendo console. If you want to play God of War or Spider-Man, you got to have a PlayStation or a Sony console. I'm fine with that. But this is not the first time we've seen this. And somebody brought this point up to somebody that was whining about it, and like it was like the microphone got dropped because they felt like this is the first time that's ever happened. And it's not. Yeah. I know in some of the Call of Duty games, they at least for a little while had time exclusives on some of the maps for certain consoles. I know that for a fact. Yeah. I think eventually they released them all.
I mean, it's no different than a pro scene.
But
a pro scene saying we're only playing on PS4.
But
so if you're Xbox, go fuck yourself.
But that was the game itself, and those things were timed exclusives. Eventually, the other places got it. My issue with this is this makes it feel bad to own something that you can get anywhere, but you can't play part of the game on it. It'd be like you buy a game. We'll say that This kind of reminds me of like buying Madden, and we'll say that you are a huge Jets fan, and then you don't get the Jets unless you play the Xbox version. If you want the Jets, you got to buy Xbox.
I mean, I agree.
Would you be upset?
I do think that you're taking out a big part of the game. I mean, that's one thing.
I mean, you can still play Madden.
You know, with exclusive games going on just Xbox, PS4, whatever it may be, you don't have it or you have it. You have it all. Like there's no in between. You either have it or have it all. It's not like, okay, you have it, but you don't have all of it. I mean, I see the problem. There is definitely a problem with it, but like I said, Sony's got everybody else gripped by the balls by the Spider-Man. Because that's the only successful thing they have right now. Spider-Man.
This is what I would call anti-consumerism.
Yes. I'd be more pissed about this.
I don't care about console exclusives.
Than Pika or whatever. Pikmin.
I don't know why people raise so much fuss about that. There's only 13 million people that bought a Wii U. I bought one. I'm not mad about it. After I just bought the disc, I'm really not mad about it because I had 7 years to buy it. I don't care. This is way different. This to me feels anti-consumerism. If you want to call something anti-consumerism, I feel like this is it. I think that if you want to have Spider-Man on the console and it's going to be exclusive, I feel like timed exclusive is fine. Let everyone play with it. Put it on a paid DLC. Don't put it as a free download update. If the Xbox owners want it, give me that money. You can have him.
Just don't be
$15 and you can have Spider-Man.
Don't be WWE.
No.
When they said Goldberg's, you have to pre-order the game to get Goldberg. They're never going to put it in the game.
And then they did.
And then a month and a half later, all you see is buy Goldberg in the shop today.
Oh man, you want to talk about some people that was pissed? Oh boy, they was pissed.
Because you paid an extra $10 to get the game early.
Yeah.
There was people were enraged.
I mean, all right. I know that we don't have like huge numbers unless the numbers are. How does everybody at home feel about this? How do you guys feel about console exclusive DLC? Not games.
DLC.
I'm cool with games being exclusive.
Mm-hmm.
I'm fine with only being able to play Mario on Nintendo and Halo on an Xbox and Bloodborne on a PS4. I don't have a problem with that. That doesn't bother me. That kind of gives you a reason for wanting to buy their product.
Yeah.
But I don't think that a game that's available everywhere should have a piece of the game that you can only get on one thing. I know that you feel a little different about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. Because there's a lot of people that feel that way. They feel like, well, you should have bought a PlayStation and then you're in. The thing that they are doing that is kind of nice this console generation is the people that did Avengers said if you buy the Avengers game at any point later on down the road, if you buy a PS5, you'll get the upgraded version from the PS4 to the PS5, which is pretty nice. They didn't have to do that. They could have been double dip, and you're going to buy it twice. They said the same thing about Cyberpunk, and I'm pretty sure Madden said it, and I think another couple of games have said it, and that's on all series too. Cyberpunk and Avengers, I think it's on Xbox too. So if you buy the Xbox One because you want to play it now, you're going to get the upgrade when you upgrade to the next system. Yeah. That is consumer friendly. That makes you not feel like, oh, I buy this game and then they're going to get me again for another $60 or $70 when it comes out. And that kind of stuff right there will piss you off.
Yeah, I just sell it.
So, I mean, this seems really like a big kick in the junk to everybody who doesn't have a PlayStation. And I'm a PlayStation fan, and I feel more mad about this than I do about...
You just want pictures of Spider-Man.
I just feel like it's so anti... don't make them pay for it. You want to give it free to PlayStation and make everybody else pay for it? Okay.
I think you'll still get bitching for it. What's funny, it probably won't be as bad.
There would be less bitching, but I guarantee people would bitch.
And then as they're bitching and typing up their tweet, they're punching in their fucking credit card number on Xbox.
Yeah, they're giving that $10 for Spider-Man.
But I didn't like it.
I was really upset about it.
Yeah, it's.
I don't like that. That kind of stuff really upsets me. Because it doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. I don't understand why you would make a decision like that. Having a console exclusive game makes sense. Your company either most likely helped pay for the development of the game, produced it, whatever. I get it. That's cool. Timed exclusive, I'm even okay with that. So like Final Fantasy VII, the remake, it's a timed exclusive for PS4 for a while. I think Horizon Zero Dawn wasn't technically a timed exclusive, but it's now available on PC. I think If it's not out yet, it's coming out soon. So, like that doesn't bother me. But let everybody play the game, and this kind of drives that wedge a little bit further up, going against letting everyone play together. Because how upset are you? One, you've already bought the game on your Xbox. You can't play Spider Man, and then you're running around, you're playing with a bunch of people, and everyone has the one character that you actually would really like to play, but you can't.
And they all laugh at you.
And they're all laughing at you. So you get to see Spider Man doing cool Spider Man stuff, but you can't. But again, I don't know that the game is entirely
You don't
cross
have a
play.
PS5.
So I don't know. That was how does everybody else feel about it? Well, we're gonna go on to another like kind of I think cool newsworthy topic. Fall Guys. Have you tried this game out yet?
Not the topic I thought you were going to say, but yes.
What topic did you think I was gonna go with?
Just we're going with Fall Guys.
Fall Guys. It like crashed the servers.
Was it the party game?
It's that one that's kind of like Wipeout.
Oh, so but it's mass multiplayer.
Yeah, it's kind of like a battle royale game.
Like I said, there's a lot of people that are playing that right now. A lot of people like getting in streamer games because it's like a very good community building game. Where they were pretty much like making jokes of stream sniping. Well, you had to be on these certain blocks. It's going to show a picture, and you have to go to that certain block. There's like 15 blocks. You have to run to them, and you only have a certain time, or
Yeah.
the floor drops out. So what this guy did was everybody was just following what the head streamer was doing, the popular streamer. And what he did is he went right on a block that went right next to it, and then they all jumped on the same block. And right when it was about to move, he got off that block and watched like 45 people die.
That's awesome.
But yeah, I mean, like I said, this game came out of nowhere.
Yeah, it really did. I saw a trailer for it, like
Nobody cared.
like a year ago maybe that they said it was in development. I was like, yeah, no one cares.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden, like all these streamers are playing it just for like a breaking game and want a community building game because it's fun. Like there is a chat system, but you can mute it. There's a talking system, you can mute it. But they're just playing these party games. I mean,
It's basically kind of like Fortnite meets Mario Party.
yeah,
I feel like is the best way to describe
it's
it.
a battle royale.
Without the board game aspect, it's more of a game show aspect. So it's a bunch of mini games. But it is like a battle royale, so it's like last person standing.
It's like that TV show One versus 100.
Yeah, kind of like that. It's kind of cool though. It's very bright and colorful. Honestly, the way that it looked, it almost looked like something that Nintendo would put out.
Yeah.
I think the game's like $20 on Steam. It's super cheap, which that's nice. I don't know if they have skins. They probably do. Yeah, out of nowhere. Well, the game like completely outperformed what they expected because PlayStation launched it on PS Plus for free. So if you want to play Fall Guys, if you want to go check this game out, like what we're talking about, and kind of get in on some of this cool madness, if you're a PS Plus user, it's free.
Just go download it.
It's free to
That's what
play
you gotta do.
for PS Plus users. If you have it on, if you want to play it on another system, you're gonna have to buy it. But it is only $20. But the day it launched, it was on PS Plus. That's really interesting. I don't think I've ever seen that. Have you ever seen anyone give a game away like that for free
Maybe if it was a small
on a
company.
launch?
If it was a small company, I mean, no. Like I've never seen that, but at the same time, like I'm not surprised because it is a small company. And with that being said, I mean, you put out a game like that, if it does well, great. Sony paid you money to put it on their free thing because they knew, guess what, you're not going to make any money for them buying the game,
Not really.
but we'll pay you for it. Now, are they probably sitting there kicking themselves in the butt right now? They're like, dang it, we made a good game and people are playing it.
I actually don't think that they are because I don't know if there is DLC, but they weren't charging a lot for the game anyway. I feel like based on the content of the game, they couldn't have hit you for $60 on it. They probably couldn't hit you for 40.
Well, games like that leave a bad taste in your mouth when they're not that good. Like, I mean, it's like 1-2 Switch. 1-2 Switch is like still a $50 game
That game is like a $20 game at best,
at best.
and they're still getting a $50 premium.
Yeah, and I don't understand. Like I said, we got it for cheap though. But
We bought a bunch of those download codes that they had discounted. They were completely legitimate. We bought them from Target. It's not like we got on some internet site. And I've never seen them discount like the little digital codes. So me and him, we got like really excited about it. We're like, hey, let's buy some of them. So we bought some. I think we ended up getting 1-2 Switch for what was it, like $12.
not even.
And I feel like because I think it was less than that.
Yeah.
And I was like $12. I'll pay $12 to try the game. I'm not going to pay $50 to try 1-2 Switch.
For sure.
And it's cool, but it's not a $50 game.
No.
It wasn't a $50 game when they launched it, and I feel like at some point they got to realize it's not a $50 game and no one's going to buy it. So
So what do you feel about Fall Guys?
I think it's cool. I think it's neat. And I'm not into battle royale games. I actually kind of despise most battle royale games, but this seemed more like a battle royale game that I feel like anyone could play. Um, it's still got like strategy elements in it, and I've heard it's really fun to get a group of your friends together and jump into one of these things and play it. So yeah, the only things I was kind of not excited about, and I think a couple other reviewers touched on this, was that you couldn't really kind of set up a Fall Guys at your house, couch co-op, and just play because you can't do split screen. Everybody has to have their own system. Other than that, yeah, I think it's pretty cool. I think it's a home run game. I think it was smart to launch it for free on PS Plus. That was smart on both Sony's and on theirs, but I guess their servers got hammered the first day that the game came out, and they got review bombed on like Steam and stuff because I'm pretty sure it's cross. I think don't quote me. I think it's cross play. You can play with anyone. But they were review bombing it because not because the game was bad, but because the servers just could not handle the amount of traffic that was happening. But when you have an influx of how many PS Plus users that downloaded that game and like, I want to try this, and then the game didn't suck and they were actually having a pretty good time with it.
Yeah, and then your servers. But I mean, that happens with any game.
It does.
I mean, Call of Duty's been out for X amount of years. It feels like every year we run into the same problem. Can't connect to the server.
I would say almost every time. Yeah, they've had some launches
Oh,
that were pretty smooth,
There's
but
been launches that took an hour to get into the game because the
almost,
servers keep
almost
crashing.
every single launch of Warcraft, I'd say up until Legion was like that.
Yeah, I mean, crashing left and right. When Classic came out, oh my god, that was so fun.
Oh man, that brought back the days, didn't it?
Just-
Your queue time is 1 hour and 30 minutes. I was like, what?
Yeah, but no disconnected. Like you'd get into it, and like there's so many people in one area playing. Like, oh, that's so fun.
Oh, it was so great. And just killing your spawns. Oh, it was such a good time.
Yeah.
It brought back those great memories. I didn't feel rage filled at all. Ugh.
Yeah. Well,
So what was the other topic you thought I was going to touch on real quick?
so the other topic, and probably the last topic for the day, unless you have another one, is the Doctor Disrespect.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, no, this is more your topic. So,
So Doctor. Oh man, the Doc, the face of Twitch, not anymore.
not anymore.
So, Doctor Disrespect, I believe it was Wednesday. Wednesday comes out with a tweet, and he is sitting there, and they're all you see is this music. He keeps playing these music videos, and they're supposed to be some kind of like what's the word I'm looking for? They're some kind of mystery. You don't know what he's trying to say in them, but like he's sitting there. He comes back. It's a 3 minute long video, and he's singing, doing all this stuff like a nice like 80s like he's looking out like a window. It's a stormy night, and like all you see is like his shadow, and super funny. And everybody's just trying to like, oh my god, is the Doc coming back? This is like his first post in almost a month and a half, 2 months, and the fact that he is here now, it's crazy to think. He changed his link on Twitter to YouTube, and he made this like comical live stream thing on his Instagram that basically was like, the Doctor Disrespect has come live, and you could see him as early as today. And he turns on his live stream on YouTube after this, and he doesn't ever get on. It's just music and like a gas station. And that's it. He live streams a gas station for 5 hours with over 400,000 people watching him. He never talks, and then he cuts off the stream.
Wow.
And then he gets back on the next day.
Yeah, I missed all of this.
And actually live streams. He got up to
How many people could turn on a live stream of nothing, a gas station, a Snickers, whatever.
I mean, this is
It had how many people watching it?
400,000.
400,000.
Yeah, he streamed yesterday. He peaked out at 468,000 people watching him, and he was actually streaming. And he said he's back. He kind of touched base on the whole ban process, and he said like, I still don't know.
So they never really gave him an official reason for why he got
No.
banned.
He said there was poor communication. There's no reason. He says, I don't believe I did anything wrong, and I still don't have a reason on why I was banned. Now he is playing with YouTube and stuff like that because I guess in the words of a band, he's no longer his contract is now voided. I don't know what that means. I don't know what he had to pay. If there is anything he has to pay, he just is there now. He's done. And he's already pretty much said in a news article that he's not going back to Twitch.
Well,
Under-
from
under-
the sounds of it, it kind of sounds like he can't go to Twitch.
Under no circumstances he is not going back to Twitch, which is awesome because like it really starts to make you think like what are you going to do? I mean, like people are going to YouTube, your live streamers are going to YouTube. Like I hate YouTube live streaming setup. If they don't get something set up to where it's like I can go to YouTube and it's kind of similar to Twitch, I won't watch YouTube. It's the same thing that I mean, I was a passionate person that watched Courage JD and now I have to watch the doc on YouTube. I can count on my own hand how many times I watched Courage JD since he switched to YouTube almost a year ago.
I mean, we live stream to YouTube.
Yeah.
And honestly, we both kind of feel the same way about YouTube. It's not that I dislike YouTube. I spend a lot of time watching stuff on YouTube.
Yeah.
Everybody does.
But you spend time watching videos that were already done.
I watch videos. I don't really watch live streams.
Exactly. It's the same thing that happened with Call of Duty when they moved there. I mean, I don't watch any Call of Duty matches because I don't think about going to YouTube for my matches. I go to Twitch.
But I'll say the same thing I said before. I felt like because we touched on it before, in terms of the best to the worst in like the top 3 places, or at least the most 3 common places. I still think Twitch is probably the best. I think that YouTube would probably used to be, I would say, second best, but I feel like Facebook Gaming has really kind of stepped up their game quite a bit because they ended up taking all the people in from Mixer. But with that,
yeah.
man, it really pushed a lot of us that were getting views way down on the list. I don't get hardly any views now since they brought people even from Mixer.
Well,
And they said that was going to happen.
but they're promoting people. I mean, left and right.
Constantly, when I'm flipping through my Facebook thing, they're promoting tons of people on there from Mixer that have like huge followings.
Well, because they were Mixer partners and they were promised basically to stay partnered through to Facebook. Now Facebook could decline, like you still had to reapply, but if you didn't reach a certain quota or that you just weren't in their likings, it's no different than when you go for Twitch partnership. Just because you're hitting all the numbers doesn't mean you're going to get it. They still have to decide that.
I'm kind of curious about, exactly what happened with him. But I mean, when he comes out, because he was quiet for so long.
Yeah.
And I don't know if maybe that's because he tried to pursue maybe legal actions and couldn't talk about it.
So anytime you work with that kind of stuff, there's a lot of non-disclosure agreements.
Absolutely.
So anything he could say, even if it's totally right, it could punish him because it's only supposed to be you and the agency.
And there's still also the possibility that he knows or he knows a little bit, but he can't talk about it.
Because there's no final word. And like I said, so don't believe any rumors that you're hearing. I don't care what Reddit posts. Unless you hear it from a actual news source / the doc himself.
Yeah, I'd say that it's probably hearsay.
Yeah,
At best.
I mean, people thought he he cheated on his wife again, so they banned him. I'm like, you're not gonna get banned for that. Now, if there was some legal actions that were getting taken, that'd be public record. You would be able to find that. So there's a whole bunch of things up in the air. But I'm glad to see the doc back. I'm glad to see the 2-time back-to-back 1995, 1996 blockbuster champion of NBA Jam is back. So it's pretty cool.
Is that true?
Yeah, he's the 1995, 1996.
I feel like I could have beat him.
That's why he calls himself the 2-time.
But I've never actually, I don't think I ever played any tournament.
He was like,
I think I was pretty good.
yeah, he was like 13.
Like arcade or Nintendo?
I think it was Nintendo.
Okay.
So like I
Man,
said,
I'd like to practice up. I think I'd like to play him. I bet that would be a good game.
I don't know what he played. Like I said, there like nobody believed him until he actually like posted the full on like actual
I
old.
believe that. Why?
The old-
That claim is so ridiculous. It has to be true.
But like I said, it was legitimately like you can see him in the video as a kid. Like he was pretty young at the time. I mean, I know Doc's probably in his 40s if I had to guess. He's either in his 40s or his late 30s.
I'd say probably late 30s. Yeah.
So I mean, you got to think 21 years ago.
He's probably a teenager.
He's probably a teenager. But now you can see him playing the game like.
I could see being 13, 14 years old.
Yep.
I would say maybe even as old as 15 or 16 at most.
Yeah.
But no, I mean that's good. I'm glad to see that he's back. I hope that he can kind of keep the traction that he had on Twitch.
No,
That's
he's getting more.
That's a ton of people. Well, there's a lot of controversy surrounded about that, and you know that everybody kind of wants to watch now to see maybe if they know what happened.
Yeah, well, Pokimane just took a month-long break. She said since I started streaming, I've streamed constantly full time since for like 7 years or something like that, constantly for full time.
Well,
And she
she's
says
got a huge following.
she says
for
I
it.
am taking a month-long break.
She'll lose a lot of followers for it.
Well, she'll lose some
She'll
followers,
lose some subscriptions
but
too.
I'll tell you this way,
But can
nothing,
you blame him if she's gonna take a month? Are
nothing.
you gonna give her money for a month and she ain't there doing nothing? Nope.
But what I'm trying to say
I'm
is
not.
nothing. There's nothing better than a comeback story. I mean, don't get me wrong. People peak at these ridiculous numbers when they come back. Doctor Disrespect, Ninja. When Ninja went to when Ninja like was breaking all the numbers and he came back to Twitch, he just he streamed to Twitch this week. This week has been nuts for people returning. Pokemon going AFK. Ninja streamed on Twitch. He had an actual live stream. It was about 2.5, 3 hours long.
I thought he was done with Twitch. He's just not streaming exclusively. to
I'll
Twitch.
put it this way: I keep taking the money, but I mean he's not signed anywhere, and I think right now that's what they're working out with
I
Shroud.
hope that guy loses so much money from thinking that he's worth more than he is. I hope
But
he
at the
does.
same time, guess what?
He's already made more money
He don't
in his
even
lifetime.
he don't
even
he,
need
he
more
can
money.
he could lose the money. He could probably realistically not be exclusive to anywhere and just stream. He doesn't need a contract or anything like that, and still make good money. He still would never have to struggle.
What's he making money on now if he's not anywhere?
So
'cause
he's
if not on
actually,
YouTube.
you know, he's actually just kind of taking a break from it all.
Let him.
But I mean, there couldn't be a better time. You can, I mean, because you can just keep making the statement. I'm in negotiations with people. Like he streamed on YouTube, got his donations. He still collects it all. He got on Twitch now. I think on Twitch, I don't know if they took the subscriber button away from him. I don't know if they did. I can't tell you that for sure. But I mean, he's still got to keep all the donations. So anytime he streams, I mean, I would say even on a bad day with Ninja streaming or any really popular streamer, they probably walk out with $1,000 donations a day. I mean, you got to think they have 40, 50,000 people watching them. Even if 1,000 of them give them $1.
I'm not a hater on popular streamers. Just there's something about that particular guy. I think he's a douche.
Yeah, maybe he is. I heard he's nice. I heard he's not mean at all. Like I heard he's like
His behavior, he sounds like a spoiled ass, rich pro player, and you're not. I'm sorry, you play games for a living. You have the opportunity to make more money than anyone, and you think that you're worth X amount of dollars, and they disagree with you, and you think that you still are. And I'm sorry, you're not.
Yeah.
I really hope that actually comes out to him because you know what, him coming and yelling at us will give us more clout anyway. So
Well, my thing is with Ninja doing this whole move, I totally agree. I wouldn't have gone to Facebook either if I was him.
I wouldn't have either. Fuck. I mean, Facebook. If you don't want to go to Facebook, don't go to Facebook.
But what I'm saying is he was almost at the point of I had no options. Like either they buy me out of my contract or I go to Facebook and I have to continue this. Now don't get me wrong, he's getting paid bank to do
I
it.
think that he made a poor decision in life. That's what I think.
I think he should have stayed with Twitch.
I think that he got dollar signs in his eyes, and then he got burned, and
But at the
now he's
same
not.
time-
And now he's not making as much money as he was.
No, but at the same time, they still paid him his 30 mil. They gave him 30 mil. They fulfilled his contract. They just basically said that you don't have to stay with Mixer, and he refused to go. He was like, "I'm not going unless you buy out my contract." And I think I mean, like I said, he finessed the bag, for sure. And don't get me wrong, I think right now, if he sits there and he's complaining about him not getting a contract with any, which I don't think he is, I think he
I
doesn't.
don't think I've actually heard that.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think he cares. I don't think he cares right now. Like, let's be honest here. If you had $30 million, and that's not counting any money you've made from actually playing throughout the year, you're making good money. Like, you're not hurting. I don't care if because let's be honest here, you're playing games most of the time. You're not buying shit.
I think that I guess my whole thing is you can be successful doing this or anything
Yeah.
and still be humble. There's nothing wrong with that.
I think so too. And don't get me wrong, I think money does change people a little bit. And when you get to a certain point, you do kind of think of yourself as a literal god in some senses. Because like you got to think like you have to have a good work ethic to do it. And
But
there's
the amount of people that like eat that shit up.
But there's-
man,
but-
he
he
said this or blah.
but there's a mentality thing to it. I mean, think about how much sensitive stuff he has to monitor. Like if he says anything wrong, like for us, I could sit here and say something like
no.
like I said,
They'll pull out your tweets from like 6 years ago, and then we'll hit, and then they'll go, "Well, you said that one thing."
but that's what I'm trying to say. Like I don't ever have to worry about that. I don't have to worry about somebody digging through 99% of my Twitter from when I first made a post that said like, haha, that's like, we'll just say like that's gay. Because back then it wasn't as pressed or something like that. And that happens. For Ninja, oh, you're done. The Ninja is canceled party.
Oh,
Well,
whatever.
the Ninja is canceled.
I feel like they get away with a lot more.
Ninja is canceled. Now that's gonna be a trending thing for like 2 days, and then nobody cares about it anymore.
I'm just saying,
and
like,
it's over. But like for
they, unless they do something terrible.
but for me,
I mean, the one chick whipped her titty out,
oh,
and they did nothing.
oh, they still make fun of her.
They did nothing. Yeah, was it meme worthy? Is it
but
hilarious?
Twitch didn't do anything.
Yep.
Twitch didn't do anything
Why?
because Twitch.
They should have. It's right in the terms of service.
And that's what everybody's complaint is. It's not fair. You're not fairly treated.
All right, if you were a chick and you had an accidental titty slip out, banned.
I'd be like, oh,
I guarantee you're banned.
oh, as a smaller streamer, yes. As a small streamer,
All
like I
it
said,
takes is one person to have seen it. You're a small streamer. You're not bringing in any money or viewership. Banned.
all I gotta say, and that's my thing. I mean, that's the difference. Some of the people that are partnered, they'll go the extra mile in not getting them banned, and they much rather have the world fucking hate them because they know in their heads, no matter what they do, oh, I'm never watching you again. Next week they're watching Alinity on Twitch. Like,
I think a lot of her shenanigans are fake. I do.
okay, I mean,
I really do. I feel
I think they are.
because what have we always said? People love controversy.
Yeah,
In fact,
okay,
I think her views went up
but there's
after the incident with the cat. I think her views went up
but at a certain
after the titty slip,
okay, but at the same point,
and I think they went up again
that's not content.
after the vodka with the cat.
That's not
Or the dog.
that's not content at all.
It doesn't matter.
Okay, dog abuse, animal cruelty,
And why were people tuning in? Why did her viewership count go up, not down? Because people wanted to see
no people
what she was going to do next.
no well what people wanted to do was go into her chat and basically tell her to end her life.
They
and all this
could
stuff.
harass her on Twitter, and they did.
And they did. Oh, they were ruthless. The tweets. I mean,
And I'm sorry, that's not the right way to be either.
I agree.
She's wrong. You're wrong too.
I
And
agree.
in fact, I think you're more wrong.
I couldn't be more honest with you about that. Like I said, I think it's wrong what they did. But like I said, when
I don't care who you are. No one deserves to be harassed like that.
when she pops her boob out on stream, anybody that was under the age of yada 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 could have sued. Said
I mean, yeah.
if she doesn't have the mature content thing on her thing.
It doesn't matter if she has the mature content. There's no nudity allowed on that.
Exactly, but that's what I'm trying to say. Like you could have you can make the argument, oh well my
Unless it's in a game. I mean, I think
no,
because you're allowed to play The Witcher.
you're not supposed to show the nudity. As
well, I have.
like I said, you can't. But if you were a big time streamer, oh, you're done.
From what I understand about games like The Witcher and stuff, is if it's part of the game and you are not making a big deal about it because you're just playing the game, you're cool. Most people won't do anything. However, if you make an entire stream episode about all the tale that Gerald's going to get in the land of The Witcher, and you make a whole 2-4 hour episode of him going around and banging every chick you can bang and going into details on it, you're going to have a problem.
I agree. But I think that I think there's things. I think people get held to a higher standard.
I tried to blurt out some of it because honestly,
But that's what I'm trying to say.
it made me feel
Like
while
I
it was happening. I was just like,
you're like, oh yeah, he's really giving it to her.
I mean, it's like it's kind of like when you watch like an R-rated movie with your parents that you forget has like a really uncomfortable sex scene, and you're like, hey mom, dad, you should watch this movie, and then you watch it with them, and I don't care how old you are, it's still awkward.
Oh yeah, I mean you're not wrong.
You're in your 20s now, man. You're like, oh man, I totally forgot that he did that to her in there, and it just feels weird.
Damn titty.
So,
yeah,
and it could be something just one boob, and I feel weird with, and that's how it felt on stream. I actually had people watching. No one cared. I mean, because I didn't really make a big deal about it. I was like, I don't know if I'm even allowed to show this, so we're gonna click that off, and you guys can just listen to me talk for a little. Because I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't have the maturity thing set on the stream either, which didn't.
you just never know.
Because I didn't think that was going to happen.
One strike.
Whatever. I have 60 followers, and thank you for each and every single one of you that follow me and actually pop on streams. I appreciate all of you.
Yeah, but I don't say that's.
I feel like that's the show.
That's my topic.
I'm going to see him back as far as so.
Yep. But not a bad week. Not a bad week. We had some good topics. We switched it up a little bit. Felt smooth.
It actually, I think it felt pretty good. Instead of like rushing, figuring out what the heck we were going to talk about 5 minutes before we got on the air. Which, by the way, we've done that a lot, guys. So yeah, if you guys have any topics that you'd like to hear us debate, things you want to debate with us, I think once we get the studio up and running in the new area, we're going to actually start taking calls.
Yep.
We're going to take either Discord or something and let you guys call in and say, hey.
Yep. Set up a personal. But like I said, message us on any of those services.
Anything.
We're
Email, snail mail.
I can promise you, we will message you back within probably an hour. I'm not even kidding you when it comes to that.
He's really good at responding.
When it comes to Twitter, I check my Twitter probably 9 times every 10 minutes. So,
and if you're on TikTok, even faster.
Even faster, because I'm always there.
He loved TikTok.
Yeah.
This is why we never got anything done. He'd come over like an hour before the show.
And watch TikTok.
He'd talk about like, hey, what are we gonna talk about? And then the second that he picks up his phone, it's done because he's on TikTok for the next 55 minutes.
It's fucking Kurt. All right, but thank you guys all so much. Episode 54 in the books.
54.
Back from Camp Jason V. And if you don't know who that is, well, then just leave now. Just unfollow, unsubscribe, whatever you got to do. Jason.
My new stream schedule will be up sometime today. I'm going to be posting them every Sunday because about the only concurrent stream I have every week is this. And then I'm going to kind of basically be doing a little bit of I'm trying to see what times, honestly, I get the best views, and that's going to be kind of when I start doing it. Yeah. So, yeah, that'll be coming up. You got anything stream plans this week? Are you on the air at all?
I will, being honest, I will probably not stream until
after the move?
Until this gets
Understandable. All right.
Yep.
So, if you used to watch him, you can come over to my channels at Nick Displays Games.
Can't believe I'm getting plugged.
And you guys can watch me play stuff. I am not as good at games as he is, and I don't play the same games, but
I play games.
I have lots of different games. In the middle of the one game I'm playing right now is effing weird. It's called Deadly Premonition. It's like this weird.
You suck at driving the car.
That car is hard as shit to drive, dude. It's unnecessarily difficult to drive.
You suck at it.
I'm going to give you the game. I'm going to put you in the car. I ran out of gas last time I was playing.
Going off-road.
Have no idea. All right, I'm going on a tangent. Anyway, this show's over.
Okay.
That's where we're at. Follow us on places. Like, follow, subscribe. Tell your friends. Tell your grandma. Tell your mom. Tell your dad. Tell your brother. Tell your sister. Tell your cousins.
Tell your clown best friend.
Yep.
We love you. Episode 54 is out and about. And if you didn't watch it today, welcome from YouTube.
And if you're watching from a replay, hello to the future.
Yep, to the future. Thank you, everybody. Have a great night and enjoy your Sunday and work tomorrow.